the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in the binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No mic, no fame, just the sound we crave. Tune and turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. In shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go.
Now let us tread the path to the propositions themselves, which contain a great mass of material compressed into the several species. And especially to place, as is fitting, the elementary propositions at the beginning in order that passage may be made from the simpler to the more complex. Diophantus, Arithmetic. Diophantus of Alexandria, a Hellenistic mathematician likely flourishing in the 3rd century CE, is renowned for his groundbreaking work in algebra. While details of his life remain scarce, an allegorical epigram suggests he lived to the age of 84. His major contribution is the Arithmetica, a collection of problems focused on solving algebraic equations, both determinate with unique solutions and indeterminate with multiple solutions. This work, originally comprising 13 books, introduced a significant step towards symbolic algebra by using abbreviations for unknowns and their powers, though not a fully symbolic system as we know it today. Only 6 of the original Greek books have survived, with 4 additional books found in Arabic translation. Little concrete information exists about the early life and education of Diophantus of Alexandria. The period in which he lived is generally placed in the 3rd century CE, flourishing in Alexandria, Egypt, a major intellectual center of the Hellenistic world. However, the precise dates of his birth and death remain uncertain, with estimates varying across a broad range. Some historical analysis suggests he lived between the mid-2nd and mid-4th centuries CE, based on references to and by him from other ancient writers. The most significant, albeit indirect, insight into his lifespan comes from a mathematical word puzzle, believed to be his epitaph, recorded in the Greek anthology. This puzzle, when solved algebraically, indicates that Diophantus lived for 84 years and provides a breakdown of the different stages of his life in terms of fractions of this total. According to the riddle, he spent 1/6 of his life as a boy, 1/12 with a beard, 1/7 before marriage, 5 years after marriage before having a son. His son lived to half his father's age, and Diophantus survived his son by 4 years. While this offers a seemingly detailed account of his life's timeline, it is crucial to recognize that this information originates from a puzzle and may not be a literal biographical record. Regarding his education and intellectual influences, no direct accounts from his time have survived. However, living and working in Alexandria, he would have been immersed in a rich intellectual tradition that included the works of earlier Greek mathematicians like Euclid. His own work, particularly the Arithmetica, marks a departure from the geometrical focus prevalent in earlier Greek mathematics, shifting towards algebraic methods. Some scholars suggest that Diophantus may have drawn upon Babylonian algebraic techniques, which were known in the Hellenistic world, although the extent of this influence is debated. His unique approach to problem solving, focusing on finding rational solutions to equations, and his introduction of early forms of algebraic notation, suggest a highly original and innovative mathematical mind, regardless of the specifics of his early education. The dedication of his Arithmetica to a Dionysius, who some historians identify with Saint Dionysius, a bishop of Alexandria in the mid-3rd century CE, offers a potential, though not definitive, link to the intellectual circles of that era in Alexandria. Ultimately, while his profound impact on the history of mathematics is undeniable, the specifics of Diophantus's early life and educational background remain largely in the realm of scholarly conjecture and interpretation of later sources. Diophantus of Alexandria's first major and most influential work was undoubtedly the Arithmetica. This treatise, originally comprising 13 books, is considered his magnum opus and the earliest extant work that systematically tackles arithmetical problems using algebraic methods. While only 6 of the original Greek books have survived to the present day, with an additional 4 found in Arabic translation, the Arithmetica stands as a groundbreaking contribution to the field of mathematics. In this work, Diophantus explored the solutions of various types of algebraic equations, including both determinate equations, those with unique solutions, and indeterminate equations, those with multiple solutions. A key innovation of the Arithmetica was Diophantus's introduction of a syncopated form of algebraic notation, using symbols and abbreviations for unknowns and their powers, as well as for some relationships and operations. Although not a fully symbolic system in the modern sense, this was a significant step forward from purely verbal expressions of mathematical problems. The Arithmetica is essentially a collection of problems, each solved with a specific technique tailored to that particular problem. Diophantus primarily sought positive rational number solutions, often employing ingenious methods to transform problems into solvable forms. The problems covered a wide range of topics, including linear equations, quadratic equations, and systems of equations, as well as problems involving higher powers. The historical importance of the Arithmetica is immense. It not only showcases Diophantus's remarkable algebraic skills but also laid the foundation for the development of number theory. Equations seeking integer solutions are now known as Diophantine equations in his honor, and the methods for solving them are referred to as Diophantine analysis. The Arithmetica profoundly influenced later mathematicians in the Islamic world and during the European Renaissance, playing a crucial role in the eventual development of modern algebra by figures like Pierre de Fermat, who famously studied Diophantus's work. Even with portions of it lost, the Arithmetica remains a testament to Diophantus's ingenuity and its enduring impact on the course of mathematical history. While Diophantus is primarily known for his Arithmetica, he did author other mathematical works, though they are less extensive and mostly lost or survive in fragmented form. His next major work, or rather the other known work attributed to him, is on polygonal numbers. This treatise, as the name suggests, dealt with polygonal numbers, numbers that can be represented by dots arranged in the shape of regular polygons like triangular numbers, square numbers, pentagonal numbers, etc. Fragments of this work have survived in incomplete form within 4 Byzantine manuscripts that also contain the Arithmetica. These surviving portions suggest a more theoretical approach compared to the problem-solving focus of the Arithmetica, exhibiting a style more akin to Euclidean geometry in its presentation. Beyond on polygonal numbers, there are references to other works by Diophantus that are now lost. For one such work is called Porisms. Diophantus himself refers to porisms in the Arithmetica, indicating that it was a collection of propositions or lemmas that he assumed his readers were familiar with. Point 6. However, this work is not extant, and its exact content remains a matter of scholarly debate. Some historians believe the Porisms might not have been a separate book but rather a collection of results integrated within the Arithmetica itself. Point 7. Another lost work attributed to Diophantus is On Parts. This work, which likely dealt with fractions, is only known through a single reference in a Neoplatonic scholium to Iamblicius' treatise on Nicomachus' Introduction to Arithmetic. Recently, some scholars have also suggested that the work Preliminaries to the Geometric Elements, traditionally attributed to Hero of Alexandria, might actually be the work of Diophantus. However, this attribution remains a subject of ongoing research and discussion. Therefore, while the Arithmetica remains his most significant and influential contribution, Diophantus also engaged with other areas of mathematics, as evidenced by his work on polygonal numbers and the lost treatises on porisms and fractions. These lesser-known works provide a broader, albeit incomplete, picture of his mathematical interests and expertise. The circumstances surrounding the death of Diophantus of Alexandria are largely unknown, shrouded in the mists of time due to the limited biographical information available about him. Unlike some historical figures whose passing was documented or commemorated in detail, no contemporary or near-contemporary accounts explicitly describe the end of his life. The most cited piece of information related to his lifespan comes from the allegorical mathematical epigram found in the Greek anthology, which, when solved, suggests he lived to the age of 84. However, this is a puzzle, not a direct historical record, and while it offers a poetic notion of his life's duration, it provides no details about the actual circumstances or cause of his death. Given that Diophantus likely flourished in the 3rd century CE in Alexandria, a period from which relatively few detailed personal histories have survived, the lack of information about his death is not particularly surprising. Historical records from that era often focused on political, military, or religious events, with the lives and deaths of scholars and mathematicians receiving less attention unless they were connected to prominent figures or events. Therefore, we can only infer that Diophantus, having likely reached an advanced age based on the puzzle, would have succumbed to the natural causes or illnesses prevalent in his time. Without specific historical accounts, any attempt to describe his death would be purely speculative. The enduring legacy of Diophantus rests firmly on his mathematical contributions, particularly the Arithmetica, which continued to influence mathematical thought for centuries after his passing, far outshining any surviving details about the end of his life. His epitaph, "This tomb hold Diophantus, ah, what a marvel!" And the tomb tells scientifically the measure of his life. God vouchsafed that he should be a boy for the 6th part of his life, when a 12th was added, his cheeks acquired a beard, he kindled for him the light of marriage after a 7th, and in the 5th year after his marriage he granted him a son. Alas! Late begotten and miserable child, when he had reached the measure of half his father's life, the chill grave took him. After consoling his grief by the science of numbers for 4 years, he reached the end of his life. Diophantus. References: Christianides, Jean, Oakes, Jeffrey 2013. Practicing Algebra in Late Antiquity, The Problem-Solving of Diophantus of Alexandria. Historia Mathematica. 42, 158-160. doi 10.1016j.hm 2012.09.001. Christianides, Jean, Me Grimi, Athanasia 2019. Tracing the Early History of Algebra, Testimonies on Diophantus in the Greek-Speaking World 4th to 7th Century CE. Historia Mathematica. 47, 16-38. doi 10.1016j.hm 2019.02.002. Cook, Roger 1997. The History of Mathematics, A Brief Course. Wiley InterScience. ISBN 0-471-18082-3. Derbyshire, John 2006. Unknown Quantity, A Real and Imaginary History of Algebra. Joseph Henry Press. ISBN 0-309-09657-X. Further reading. Allard, A. Les Scolies Auxiliary Arithmetiques de Diophanti d'Alexandrie dans le Matricensis BIBLNAT 4678 ET Le Vatican GR 191 ET 304 Byzantion 53. Brussels, 1983, 682-710. Christianides, J. Maxime Plainud sur l'essence du terme Diophantian plasmaticon, Historia Scientiarum, 6 1996 37-41. Christianides, J. An Interpretation Byzantine de Diophanti, Historia Mathematica, 25 1998 22-28. Katz, Victor J. Parshall, Karen Hunger 2014. Taming the Unknown, A History of Algebra from Antiquity to the Early 20th Century. Princeton University Press. ISBN 978-0-691-14905-9. Rashid, Roshdi, Housel, Christian. Les Arithmetiques de Diophanti, Lecture historique et mathématique, Berlin, New York, Walter de Gruyter, 2013. Rashid, Roshdi, Histoire de l'analyse diophantienne classique, Diabu Kamel Affairement, Berlin, New York, Walter de Gruyter. Rashid, Roshdi. L'art de l'algèbre de Diophanti. Ed. Arabe. L'Équerre, Bibliothèque Nationale, 1975. Rashid, Roshdi. Diophanti. Les Arithmetiques. Volume 3, Book 4, Volume 4, Books V, 7, App Index. Collection des Universités de France. Paris Société d'édition Les Belles Lettres, 1984. External links. Wikimedia Commons has media related to Diophantus. Wikiquote has quotations related to Diophantus. Wikisource has the text of the 1911 Encyclopaedia Britannica article Diophantus. O'Connor, John J. Robertson, Edmund F. Diophantus, MacTutor History of Mathematics Archive, University of St. Andrews. Diophantus's Riddle Diophantus Epitaph, by E. Weisstein. Norbert Schappeker 2005. Diophantus of Alexandria, A Text and Its History. Review of Cesiano's Diophantus. Review of J. Cesiano, Books 4-7 of Diophantus Arithmetica, by Jan P. Hagendijk. Latin translation from 1575 by Wilhelm Zeilander. Scans of Tannery's edition of Diophantus at wilborhall.org.
Wrecks on the floor where they drop like bombs. Faceless voices running all the cons. Digital whispers in a binary night. No light, no face, pure sound, no sight. Stories unfold in the dark, unscrolled. Echoes of silence, secrets untold. Waves crash loud in this audio cave. No mic, no frame, just the sound we crave. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just the vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Hidden in shadow shadows, voices untamed. No need for spotlight, no claim to fame. Just a beat of life in a stream of thought. Every word a punchline, no need to be taught. Just listen close, no visuals needed. Raw conversation, unprocessed, unseated. Feel the pulse in every sentence said. No distractions, just thoughts in your head. Whispers of the streets, rumbling through. Faceless yet vivid, a world in view. No mic, just souls, connecting in flow. Pure and raw, let the rhythm go. Pure and raw. Pure and raw. Turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Tune in, turn up, let the silence break. Raw, unfiltered, hear the earthquake. No mic needed, just a vibe that's real. Faceless words you can touch and feel. Pure and raw.
Play.